Have you ever noticed that the loudest person in the room is rarely the most dangerous? We live in an era of constant noise, where we feel the need to broadcast every thought, every win, and every grievance. But while you are busy talking, someone else is busy watching. They are calculating your moves, identify your insecurities, and waiting for the moment your guard drops. Today, we strip away the delusion of safety. We explore the shadows where silence isn't just a virtue, it's a weapon. If you feel an unexplainable weight in your social circle or a coldness in the air when you enter a room, you aren't being paranoid. You are finally becoming aware. The first sign is a sudden shift from dialogue to interrogation. When someone who used to share their life with you suddenly becomes a vault, yet asks probing questions about your future plans, they are no longer a friend. They are a strategist. They are gathering intelligence while denying you yours. Marcus Aurelius once wrote that the best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury. By remaining silent themselves, they are tempting you to fill the void with your own secrets. They know that a man who speaks too much eventually provides a rope for his own hanging. In the modern world, this manifests as the colleague who just wants to check in on your project status or the friend who asks about your relationship but never mentions their own. They are building a map of your vulnerabilities. Everything we hear is an opinion, not a fact. Everything we see is a perspective, not the truth. This leads us to the second sign, the mirror of mockery. When someone begins to subtly imitate your mannerisms, your speech, or your goals, not out of admiration, but to devalue them, they are attempting to colonize your identity. Seneca warned us that we suffer more often in imagination than in reality, but when someone actively mimics you, they are trying to make your reality feel small. They use your own strengths against you, turning your unique traits into a parody. It's a psychological siege designed to make you doubt your own worth. If you find someone constantly joking about your ambitions or repeating your words back to you with a hidden sneer, they are not just being annoying. They are dismantling your confidence so they can stand on the wreckage. Stoicism teaches us that we cannot control the actions of others, only our response to them. But to respond, you must first see the third sign, the withdrawal of the witness. This is the most chilling indicator. When someone is plotting against you, they stop acknowledging your presence in small, calculated ways. They stop liking your posts. They stop meeting your eyes in meetings. And they stop offering the basic social cues of validation. This is the silent treatment weaponized. They are preparing the social soil for your removal. By making you invisible now, they make it easier for others to ignore you when they finally strike. They are creating a vacuum where your reputation used to be. He who fears death will never do anything worth of a man who is alive. But he who fears silence has already died 1,000 times. The fourth sign is the emergence of the third party. If you find that information you told one person is suddenly known by someone you barely trust, the leak is intentional. They are testing the waters, spreading a drop of poison to see how far the ripples go. They want to see who will defend you and who will join the hunt. Epictetus taught us that we have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so that we may listen twice as much as we speak. Use this. Listen to the echoes of your own secrets. If they come back to you distorted, you know there is a traitor in your inner circle. The fifth sign is the sudden praise of your enemies. When someone who claims to be on your side begins to find merit in the people who openly wish you harm, the transition has already begun. They are building a bridge to the other side. They are justifying their upcoming betrayal by humanizing your opposition. They will call it being objective or seeing both sides. But in reality, they are choosing a side that isn't yours. A Stoic knows that a friend to everyone is a friend to no one. If they are making peace with your attackers, they are preparing to join the siege. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Betrayal is what happens when envy meets silence. The sixth sign is the accidental obstacle. You start noticing small, inconvenient mistakes that keep happening around you. An email wasn't forwarded. A deadline was miscommunicated. A key piece of information was forgotten. These are not accidents. They are stress tests. They are checking to see how much pressure you can take before you crack. They want to see you lose your temper, to see you act uncharacteristically, so they can point to your reaction as the problem rather than their provocation. Marcus Aurelius reminded us that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts. If you let their sabotage darken your mind, they have already won. The seventh and final sign is a shift in timing. They start appearing when you are at your weakest and disappearing when you are at your strongest. They avoid your celebrations because your success burns them, but they are the first to offer a shoulder to cry on when you fail. They don't want to help you up. They want a front row seat to your collapse. They use the guise of sympathy to dig deeper into your wounds, ensuring they don't heal. They are the vultures of the social world, circling silently, waiting for the momentum of your life to stall. Your defense is not more noise. It is not a confrontation. It is a return to the self. A Stoic remains a fortress of indifference. When you realize someone is plotting against you, your greatest weapon is to live as if their plots do not exist while quietly removing their access to your life. Stop explaining. Stop defending. Stop broadcasting. Cut the feed. Let them plot and avoid. Let their silence meet yours until they realize they're screaming into an empty room. Because if you truly want to know who is working against you, you must first ask yourself, have you ever noticed that the loudest person in the room is rarely the most dangerous?